and here we are with Priti Goleccha. Did I say that correctly, Priti?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Priti Goleccha is here today. She's an associate chief medical officer of Golden Valley Health Center. And that's a federally qualified health center in California, in Dublin, California, just outside San Francisco. And Priti, she really identifies herself as gender equity advocate and is a co-founder for the Facebook group and website group called Physician Women in Leadership. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But it's an organization with a mission that to impact the healthcare through promoting and advocating for women physicians in leadership. That's her passion, and she wants to help women get to the next level of where they sit, so that there's an equal number of women in healthcare at the C-suite. Welcome, Preeti. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Just tell us a little bit about your leadership journey. I know you were born in India, and how did you get to where you are? Can you just tell us briefly?
Sure. So I was a OBGYN in India, and I always wanted to be a pediatrician, but I think I had too much peer pressure from my family of surgeons, and everyone wanted me to go into a surgical field. So I did, and it didn't work out well for me. So I left that residency and came to United States to do my pediatric residency.
And so you came to US to escape that, so you could do what you really want.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's pretty brave, Priti. It already says something about you right there. Keep going. Keep going.
And in terms of leadership, pretty fresh out of residency, there was an opening in our organization, and I applied for it, and I got it. And honestly, initially, when people used to ask me this question, did leadership find you? Did you find the leadership? And I used to feel kind of embarrassed and ashamed that, oh yeah, I applied and I got it. And I somehow felt it made me less talented or less deserving, because you ask people and they say, oh, I was just minding my own business and it fell in my lap. And it just gave me a weird feeling. There's like, oh my God, I really had to work hard and get the position. And as I started talking to more and more women in leadership, I realized it doesn't happen naturally. It just doesn't fall in their laps like it does for everyone else. Especially women of color, we really have to go and talk to people, create that influence among our peers, apply for the job, and work hard to get there. So I'm pretty proud I did that. And then within 2 years of being a regional medical director, I was promoted to being associate chief medical officer for Golden Valley Health Center.
So Preeti, what's the magic? What's the trick to getting to where you are for other immigrants and other women of color or women in general, people who are at a disadvantage, you would say, from the norm? What's the trick into getting into leadership?
I think it's, initially I felt I had to play a certain role to be there, or I just had to follow people like, oh, this is how they got into this, and I need to just keep doing that and I'll get there. But it became obvious to me with time that I honestly have to just own my story. I had to honor who I am, and I had to share my story with others, because again, I'm not going to get an invitation from people. I had to be a little bit more proactive and share my story and let the narrative of the story and the significance of it do the magic, So that's what I did. I'm being myself. I own my brownness and my accent and my style and my talents.
That's awesome. That's great. And did you ever feel at a disadvantage or discriminated against as you were trying to move up? Or did you ever feel like there are some obstacles in the way, or did you always see a path forward that was streamlined?
Being a woman of color, especially, I look really young. I'm petite brown woman with a thick accent. And being with that, I have faced a lot of explicit and implicit biases. And I'm really hopeful that the current movement, I know it's a sensitive topic, but I'm really hoping that the current movement will change some of the culture, not just against police brutality, but just overall that collective culture of making all of us aware of the biases we have and getting us to the next level, and making it better in academic medicine or just healthcare leadership and everywhere else.
Yep. Priti, you strike me as someone who's very self-aware. I know that I had my own personal journey of becoming who I am. How did you get to the way you are? Did you have great mentors? Did you have coaching? Um, who helped you through that, or was it just on your own?
I think it's crucial to have a coach and a mentor, and they both have specific roles. And I'm fortunate to have found both. My boss just took on the mentorship role for me when I started. And then I found an executive coach through work, and it has been just wonderful. Um, and I strongly believe in coaching and mentoring, both coaching and mentoring. That's really, really crucial for a leader. Um, I think we all have blind spots, and there might be things we might not see about ourselves or even our styles and how we react. And through coaching, it really helped me see all those things. And also, as you grow on the leadership ladder, it's it's more than just getting things done or showing the numbers. It's as a leader, it's your responsibility to create that culture, to create that nurturing environment for your team to succeed, uh, to let them make the mistakes and learn from them. And being a doer and a fixer, it's very difficult for me. I like to get things done. I like to do it my way. And where I am right now, I don't think that's going to serve me well. So with coaching, it made me accept it better, and it even helped me enjoy the journey on the while I was at it. So I definitely recommend coaching and mentoring.
It's so good, so true. I totally resonate with what you're saying because I went through a very similar journey. What's the hardest part about being a leader? What was the hardest part of learning to step up into your role, you think?
um, I think it's leadership itself is a very uncomfortable place to be in. It's constant. There's a constant change, and it could get lonely at times. And you might lose your peers. You might lose people you generally would otherwise hang out with because you suddenly join that dark side.
They
The
call it, I
assumption.
know that's
Yeah.
such a misnomer, right? You're on their
Yep.
side.
Absolutely. That's a myth, but it's out there. And I think it's also the part where you really get to know yourself. You get to know your passions. You get to know what drives you. And even for other people, like what drives people, I find it really interesting, but at times it could be overwhelming. Um, and, I'm constantly learning to be like who I am and how I deal with my fears and how do I deal with people with different styles, and at the same time be humble and kind to myself and others and still use my voice where it's needed. So it's like I think it's a fine balance, and you need to just get comfortable being uncomfortable.
So true. That's so true. I could ask you so many other questions, Preeti, but this is a short interview, and I love your story, and I know so much more about you than this interview. So thank you so much for sharing those things. I want to ask you, one of the last things I want to ask you is about the group that you created or co-created called Physician Women Leader in Leadership. Um, could you tell us about why you did that? And there's already, I think, over 6,000 people in your Facebook group, which I love the content that and it's so dynamic and what you bring to women leaders. Why did you do that?
I think initially when I created the group, I I was looking for an outlet or platform where I could go and ask questions to like-minded people, like-minded women physician, and it just clicked. I was like, oh my God, being a minority in healthcare leadership, it's not serving us. And multiple research has been done in this area, and uh, studies after studies suggest that it's not beneficial for the business of the healthcare. It's not serving our patients. And that's when I thought, I was like, we need to get organized and we need to do better for our sake and for our patients' sake. And that's how I founded the Facebook group, and which quickly turned into an organization because we wanted to not just do it internally, but also use our negotiation powers, use our collaborations with external organizations, and make sure we are helping women to get there.
That's good. I mean, I think you're empowering a lot of women. There's a lot of issues that we discuss. So I think if you're a woman physician, how can they reach out to you? How can they join?
So if you are a women physician, you can definitely search on Facebook for Physician Women in Leadership Group and request to join. Or you can go on the website, physicianwomenleaders.com, and contact us from there. On Facebook, you will see a lot of discussion and forum about day-to-day leadership and management issues, or major issues like gender equity or racial biases, and a lot of discussion about that. If you join the website, we can help you navigate discounts for leadership conferences, or help you find a coach for you. So there are different benefits of joining both the group and the website, and definitely I would encourage women physicians to join us for both website and the Facebook group.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Priti, for your time. I look forward to interacting with you more. I hope we can keep in touch. And I will post I will be posting that website link for everyone if you're interested. Again, this is Dr.
Absolutely.
Elsie Ko, and we're with Lead Physician, an online course for physicians, and we're here to empower our physicians to improve healthcare. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you.